CIT will equal MIT in all research areas. And I would like to give a little bit of advice to all the young kids. I can call them kids because I'm old enough. What the future is going to be like, what can they foresee in the future? What's it all about? See, India is in a very tricky position at the moment with the globalization. Everybody glorifies that India is the IT superpower. In fact, one of our professors brought an article to me yesterday because I quite disagree with that statement. I've always disagreed with that statement. And he brought an article, press article yesterday, about a Russian guy who runs an IT company in Russia, saying that Indian IT education is very substandard. Then he said, sir, what you have been saying, this guy has put it in the newspaper, the Russian guy. I said, it's not a question of me saying, what this guy is saying is not far from the truth. What are the most of the Indian IT companies doing? They are simply doing what the American, the European or the British guy or the Australian tells them to do. If he says you prepare a menu like this, they blindly prepare that menu. They don't know what that menu is all about. They don't know anything about it. So what are we teaching so many youngsters, so much technology, and at the end of the day, you are simply following what some other guy is trying to tell you to do, which I don't see any sense in all this whole thing. So my advice is innovation. That is the key. That is what CIT is all about today. Innovative product development. That is what India should get into. We should be able to develop our own innovative products, not follow the Western guys. Why should we follow them? Like I asked one professor, foreign professor, he came here. He said all the brains are sitting in the Silicon Valley. Then I told him, in my speech, I reversed the whole thing. I said all the brains are sitting in India. You guys are using Indian brains in the Silicon Valley. It is not that you guys have the brains in the Silicon Valley. That's not the thing. The brains are Indian brains sitting there. And we have plenty of those brains sitting here as well. So, the technology should emerge from India. India should be the originator of original technology. We should build companies like Microsoft, companies like Apple, companies like Google. This is what Indians should be building. And that's what you youngsters should be doing. Don't get enamored with, okay, I'll go to CIT, PSG, Guindy Engineering College, do my BE, BTech and get a job, I'll get 50,000, 1 lakh and all that. That is no use, that's a waste of time. You might as well not come and do engineering. I've been telling all my students, you do engineering here, you go be an innovator. Go work for innovative product development companies. Then you start your own company and you develop innovative products. You become entrepreneurs. Because today there is so much money available in this country. People will invest if you have original ideas and if you have good ideas. This is exactly what I told my son who has come back from the US recently. He is a CIT student. He has come back with his MBA from the US after doing his MSc software engineering here in CIT. I immediately put him in charge of my IT company and said, look, go global, produce innovation, produce innovative products, compete with Americans, compete with the British guys, compete with the Europeans, because we can produce phenomenal things. and say, here is an Indian product which can compete with any guy, including Microsoft, Oracle and all that. This is how you should think. Don't worry about money. Money will come automatically. Once your product clicks, you made tons of money. Don't worry about money initially. You go on the track of innovation. And that is my advice to all the youngsters sitting here. And I have a small advice for the wonderful parents sitting in this hall as well. Don't pressurize your children. Don't tell them, do this, do that, study this, study that. You have to come in first in class. You have to get, 101% and all that. It's of no use. I have 2 children. One boy and a girl. The girl does her EEE here. She's one of the top students in this college. I have never told my son and my daughter even a single day what they should do, what they should study, how long they should study, nothing. I never told them. I said, you do what you think is best for you. You want my advice, I am always available. But I am not going to tell you anything. And our ladies, they are poor ladies, they are, very want the kids to do this, do that and, all that. I used to tell my wife, look here, don't tell them anything. Just by you telling them, nothing great is going to happen. If they are going to do well, if they are going to this, let them decide, let them do well. They'll do well automatically. Why do you go poke your nose there? Don't go poke your nose. Leave them alone. So that is my sincere advice to the parents. See what are their likes and dislikes and only be their advisor. Don't go and poke your nose and try to impose your ideas on them. Because today the world is so dynamic, it's changing all the time. See, your exposure is different from their exposure. Today, what is the level of exposure the kids have? Sometimes my son talks to me for 1 hour and 2 hours. He is the talker, I am the listener. Because that guy has got such a lot of knowledge. There are so many things he talks I haven't even heard about. So I am the listener, he is the talker. So, believe me, your kids cannot do worse than you did. Don't worry about that. So give them a chance, give them a chance, give them a free hand. Don't restrict their mind, don't constrain their mind. Then only they can think innovatively, they can produce innovative products which India needs at the moment.